was a very random gift of a toy keyboard I got, probably when I was like 2.5 years old. So one of my dad's friend gave me a small Casio keyboard. So we need to just put batteries, switch on the button, and if you press anything, a sound is heard. So that was the most fascinating thing for me. And it had sounds of train, it had sounds of animals. So just on the button. So like I just used to press it and it was like a whole new world for me. It was a virtual world for me at that age. So that was the random moment that I got interest on keyboard. First I started to learn a keyboard which we had at home. So first my guru was Vidyadhar sir for keyboard. And then I went on to piano. And Mrs. Masila Mani was my guru for piano. Then I switched back to keyboard. All these are in Western. Alphonse sir. Then I started to learn Carnatic music, the music aspects of Carnatic music, and I started to learn with Vittal Ramurthy sir, Kanyakumari Amma, Mandolin Srinivas sir, and Balamurali Krishna sir. But the actual music journey of mine started with my grandfather, Sangeeta Bhushanam M.R.S. Sadagopan. So he actually gave that interest for me to listen and learn Carnatic music, because we were in West Mambalam and there used to be a railway track beside our house. I was really a big fan of trains. So I loved the trains going here and there just to see it. So my tata used to make me sit on a bicycle and walk me through there. And on the way going, he used to tell ragams, adoda per, he used to sing. So, ஒரு பாட்டு சொல்லிட்டு he'll say this is Mohanam. He'll sing some phrases and he'll say it's Kannada. Then we see some 10 trains. And on the way back, he'll just jumble the order and he will sing it back. And I need to find that ragam properly. So this was the kind of introduction I got into Carnatic music. So only if I had said all those correctly, he'll take me the next day to see the trains. So that was like a big time motivation thing for me on the age. So, and I used to go to a lot of concerts with my mama, M.R. Kannan. So a lot of things had happened that time. So my first guru of Carnatic music is my tata, M.R. Sadagopan tata, and my mom, Lalita, and the Western gurus I told you, and the Carnatic gurus. Yeah. That's quite an interesting question, because I started to play Carnatic music on keyboard when I was around 6 years old. So I was around my first standard in school. So on the period, it was just another activity in my day. And it's still that way till today. So I never took it as a big thing in my life that this has to be done or that has to be done. Neither did my parents force me into it. So it just happened. It's just a part and parcel of the day. Like how I used to go to school, like how I used to watch TV, I used to go to play concerts. So it's such a simple thing in my mind. So it's actually not a big burden. So, and probably yes, from my age of 6, I've been into music full time. Everything else has been just my co-curricular activities. It's just the reverse for me. In the beginning, probably I didn't know what the actual challenge was, because God has been very kind for me, and time and then He has been there, just showing me path. Knowingly or unknowingly, I've been doing so many things, and probably I would say with the technological insight we had in the beginning, it was different. But as and when we started to progress in this whole journey, it's been very good. And probably I would say the instrument, the limitations we thought that instrument might have, everything has been broken. And it's just a very casual thing that has happened, very casual discovery, I would say. It was nothing is planned in my life. It just happens. We are very happy to have KBS Inculcation, our musical organization, and we have over 60-70 students who learn from us in India, from Chennai and abroad through Skype. And we are mainly concentrating not to build performers first. Our basic aim is to create good listeners in music, and we are using keyboard as the main medium for that. That's one. And number two, keyboard is an instrument which is very easy to learn. Like how I got a random fascination for this instrument. In today's world, you even have so many keyboard apps, and you just need to press it and you get a sound out of it. And I feel this medium is much more easier to reach the whole world than probably any other instrument for someone to pick up and learn, to get that interest into music. That's two. And the third, when we talk about the serious things we do in KBS inculcation, I would say we are teaching the tried and tested method of playing Carnatic music on keyboard, which I've been doing for the past 18 years in my life. So we want to share our journey, how we've been traveling, and what are the intricacies of the instrument, and someone knowing the instrument and telling it to the world. I think that's the best thing that can happen to the music as well as the instrument. So we are focusing on these things. I've been using traditional keyboards for a long time, and I've been preferring, my first keyboards were Yamaha, and I've been preferring Korg after that. And I've been into so many other technological things, like even in Korg there, I got a keyboard called the Nano Key, which is like probably like 200 grams or so. So maybe the lightest keyboard you can get in the world. So I've been using that for concerts, and recently, say around like 3-4 years back, I've been into an instrument called the Rolly C-board. So that's one of the latest technological instruments, and it looks like a keyboard, but it's more a rubber based keys in it. So it's a very interesting instrument, and I've been playing that for my classical concerts also. Probably the first one to play Carnatic full concert of Carnatic music on a Rolly C-board. And I even got introduced to an app called GeoShred, which is by Mr. Jordan Ruders sir. And it so happened that he had heard my videos and he wanted me to try his app. And when I had some technical difficulties, he and his whole team of Moforte Music, they were so open and they really came forward to help me out. And I've been a part of their team, and they even have an official tone called Sathya on their app, so anyone can sound Sathya. Yeah, so I've been into many technological things. I actually listen to a lot of music. In general, I listen to a lot of music. I watch a lot of films, be it good or bad. I don't bother. I watch a lot of films. I watch a lot of videos on YouTube. I follow a lot of international musicians and our country's musicians. And I listen to all genres of music. Irrespective of what it is, I listen to all genres of music. And with a classical background and with a solid Western classical training that I have undergone in piano and keyboard, it's just happening to me. It just happens because the idea, a creative process, when we say, it's not like I sit down, I think of something, I start writing it, then I change it. It's not like that. It's more of a creative, spontaneous thing I'm more used to, and I'm very comfortable in that. Maybe because I've been into live performing since I was very young. So when we do Carnatic music, there is definitely a manodharma aspect in that, where you need to play ragam, when you need to play swaram, you get to explore the sangatis and all those things. Probably adanala I've just been used to that spontaneous creativity. And I also compose music. So all these I put together in a piece of paper into the composition. So I just orally visualize like the final product. This is what I want it to sound like. So then I just cut the whole thing and whatever needs to be put in that place, I just put it. It's like understanding two worlds and creating one of your own. So that makes the whole sounding actually very unique, I would say, because of the influences I've been having through world music. So even the small sangatis, or the way I play, or way I want it to be sounding, the aesthetic aspects, the dynamics I want to be like, for the people, it should not just be a music, it should be an experience. And whatever I am feeling as a performer, they should also feel the same way when they are out of the place. So that's what I really want. So it's about creating that emotional connect between you and the person who listens. So that matters a lot to me. I am very active in social media. So I am very active in Instagram, on Facebook. I've got my official page, Keyboard Sathya. There's my official channel on YouTube, Keyboard Sathya. Twitter is there, LinkedIn is there. So I try to keep posting videos, and sometimes I even post about my personal things, like this spot, if I like, I'm going out somewhere and there's something I really nice that I ate. So I click a picture. So I click a picture of the shop and I post it. So I post it on Zomato, and so I'm quite active that way. I'm very adventurous person, but there's always peace inside me, but I'm very adventurous. So so it's like, because in today's world, I wouldn't say these are all are needed, but it's about sharing that experience you had with the whole world, because you have that option. So it's very simple. So why do you need to restrict yourself? You can just be open. After the concert is over, you really are so energized that you can even perform for another 2 hours. And it's a reciprocating thing between the artist and the audience. So even if there is no one in the auditorium, you can still be satisfied that you gave your best. So it's irrespective of the audience sitting in front. It's about your personal satisfaction, one, and how good or how much fun you had on stage with your co-musicians. And it's about total fun. It's about total fun. And I wouldn't say I had even a single boring concert. It's always fun. It's always fun. It's lovely to perform live. Actually, no. Because I feel the non-performing time of mine is very different. But I am at a safe zone when I perform. And I do not restrict my thought process when I am performing. So I might be thinking random things when I am performing. So I just don't stop it. It's just there. It's just performing. It's like fun. It's absolutely fun. So I just take it that way. So there is actually no anxiety as such. I take a solid time for me to pack up my instruments and set right the cables and everything, because I feel that discipline is very important for especially an electronic musician like me. You should have all the cables with you. You should have a secondary option when you go for a concert. You should have this basic discipline, I would say, like keeping the wires neat, twining it properly, and not keeping like an African braid on the wires. And it's about maintaining your things properly. So it's just basic discipline I follow, and that's it. That's nothing much. Actually, many things have happened. Many things have happened. Like in one of my album launches, way back, SPB sir was the chief guest, and after the concert performance, live performance was over, he came on stage and he told me he's not a human, he's a yogi. So this had happened. And once in my first maiden trip to South Africa in 2003, when we performed there, it was a full house concert, and a random person, one lady got up and she told, I am not understanding what music you are playing. I don't know these songs. But I know what you are playing is very good. Do you know any Zulu song? I said, I don't know. I was 8 years old that time. So I said, no, I don't know. Then my dad told, if you can sing, he can play. So that person actually sang a Zulu song and I just played it right back. So that was a big thing at that point. And when Mr. Yani had come to Chennai, so there was a party hosted for him, a dinner party hosted for the whole band, and top musicians of India and artists, dancers of India were there at that party. And I got an opportunity to perform for all of them through Mr. Kannan uncle, who was a Veena artist. So we performed together. And after the performance was over, Yani sir came onto the stage and he greeted every musician. And he told, when he came to me, he told, here is Yani on keyboards. So from a person, from the man himself, getting that was very unique for me. I would like to just share why probably he said that. Because I had a 2 keyboard setup. Like we all know, Yani sir uses so many keyboards. I had a small 2 keyboard setup. So on the right hand, I played the Carnatic part of it. On the left hand, I played the Western and jazz part of it. So he was really keenly watching every artist. So he got really impressed at that moment. So like that, so many incidents. It's totally 2 different things. It's absolutely 2 different things. Even the Rolly keyboard I was talking to you about, that's also totally different things. See, all these, apart from these, I also play the accordion, I play the melodica, I play the harmonium. So I play quite a few reed instruments. See, visually they look very similar, but actually they aren't, because keyboard it's plastic. If it's a weighted keys, then the feeling is totally different. In a piano, it's a wooden key. So the way you press it, the dynamics is totally different, and the way it sounds is also very different. And in an accordion, it's totally different. For a harmonium, it's a totally different concept altogether. See, a keyboard and piano, how we see, it's like the same thing with an accordion and a harmonium. Both are wind instruments, but the concept is very different when you play. So I look at everything as very different instruments, and it has its own unique points. So we need to deal that with that in mind, and we just cannot say we can also do that, it can also do this. I don't handle things. They're actually doing very good, because as I said, it's a very fascinating instrument. It's very easy to learn. It's very easy to start. Like you can just start it like that. If you just want to play a sa, this is a sa, you just play it, you'll hear it. Unlike on a violin, you need to keep the violin properly, you need to sit properly, it has to be held properly, and if you need to bow it properly, and sounds it comes, people cannot even bear and stay. Unless you really master it for many months, even to put an open bow on an open string, it's very difficult. Same like a flute, same in a guitar or veena or violin, whatever instrument you take. But keyboard is very easy in that aspect. Whereas the difficult part comes when you want to master over the instrument. When you want to go to a professional level, and when you want to get a very good, proper, aesthetic, authentic sounding of a genre of music, be it any genre. So that's where the problem comes, because the learning aspect is very easy, mastering over it and getting that sense of that authenticity is very, very, very difficult on a keyboard. Whereas in the other instruments, the conceptually it's same. If you get the sounding proper, you're almost 50% done in doing the music of it. So it's not like that on the keyboard. Since I also play the violin, I also sing, so I have an insight about all the instruments. So I also play certain percussion instruments. So in my journey, I've just found out that what impression people have on keyboard needs to be bisected into 2: learning aspect and the professional performing aspect. So these two perspectives are very different. Keep that practice as a part of your daily routine. Even for like 10-15 minutes, it's fine. But you should be in touch with the instrument. People might say that what's going to happen? Like you have a cheat diet and a gym plan, so it's fine. But what happens is, if that is done, the results are very good. And you keep that interest going along. That's why we all go to school from Monday to Friday. You can just have 2-3 more holidays in between. If we just see a random concept like that. So just keeping in touch with the instrument is very important. I feel that connect is more with the soul than the actual physical connect. And when you practice, or when you are in the thought process with the instrument or the music you are in, it will really open up a huge spectrum where you will start to feel and start to try out whatever is heard in your mind. You can try that on your instrument or your voice. So that opens up a whole new spectrum of your playing capability, your musical interest. Like, it's a totally different new world. So, and also I would like to say that don't just learn to become performers, or don't just learn to do grades, don't just learn to win competitions. That's just a part and parcel of the whole journey. So those are like stops. It will anyway happen at one point. But that should not be the actual final goal. It's about being with music. Music is a way of life. So like how Hindu religion is a way of life, music is also a way of life. So you just need to travel in that. Things will just happen. It will just happen. You need not do anything. It will automatically happen. Actually, keyboard was not a part of their lead instrument category. Actually, when I was 15 years old, that time what happened, with my guru's blessing, Balamurali sir's blessings, and we somehow got into the All India Radio's frame, and keyboard got recognized as a mainstream lead instrument in their list of instruments. Like how a solo veena concert is heard, like how a solo flute concert is heard, keyboard became a solo instrument in their category. Till then, you can play keyboard there, but as an accompaniment in the light music or devotional music sector of the All India Radio. But in proper Carnatic music, or say Indian classical form as such, keyboard was not there. But that time, I was probably the first artist to get recognized when I was 15 years old, avoiding my age restriction, and as a special case, they got me into radio. And for the general people, they might say, your radio channel, All India Radio, no one even listens or bothers about it. But it's actually not like that. Like each thing in this world has a premier institution that recognize or accredit you. So for a musician in India, All India Radio is one of the topmost recognizing firm, or the forum, I would say. So as an artist, it's a big thing. And for me, more than as an artist, it's about bringing this instrument there. So me, my parents, we always feel that if we are trying and working to bring up this instrument, at some point in time, our name will be there in the history. So it's about bringing the instrument, it's about focusing on the instrument. So like in All India Radio as well as ICCR, Indian Council for Cultural Relations, it's one of the ministries by thing. So that also accredited keyboard in Carnatic music as a lead instrument. So I personally feel that it's about creating a legacy. So now the doors are open. So anyone can travel in this path. Anyone who is above 16 years can apply for this. Anyone who knows the set list of what they want on the procedures, they can just apply and they can come through. And this instrument in this art form now has an extra mileage to live for another more number of years in people's mind. So my concept is to make this instrument and this format in this instrument very specifically something people cannot forget. I've been very fortunate that so many people in my life has been recognizing what I've been doing from a very young age, starting from the very big Rotary clubs to many organizations to many individual forums. So many people have been recognizing me. One of my very good first recognitions was Limca Book of Records, then Pogo Amazing Kids Award, and Beethoven Reincarnated Award. And there's been so many things. Yuvakala Bharati, so many awards. Yuvakala Vipanchi has been conferred. And recently, in the year 2018, for the year 2018, the Tamil Nadu government has conferred the Kalai Mamani Award on me. So, again, I would like to re-insist that I am really happy to receive it on myself. But it's a huge recognition for keyboard. Because probably to my knowledge, I don't think a keyboard artist has received Kalai Mamani Award so far. So, for a public, a random person in the society, he will definitely know about Kalai Mamani Award. And he knows that it's a recognition for music and arts. So, when he gets to know that even a keyboard is being recognized, so there's again a plus point for him to think about. So I am really happy that God has been kind and He's just putting me somewhere in front. That's it.